Well, good afternoon, everyone. We have some breaking news in the Valley where a police pursuit broke out just before 3 this afternoon. It began in Winnetka and is now in Reseda. From what we understand, this is a male Hispanic, and he may possibly be armed. Police are telling us that he is an armed robbery suspect, possibly a gang member. They say that they've been watching him for quite some time. He's in this white pickup truck, as you can see there. He's going about 30, 40 miles an hour. We're now going to go up to Sky 5 to our Megan Reyes for the very latest. Megan?
Yeah, this is a very scary pursuit. Now, the good news is this suspect is traveling at relatively low speeds here. We're in the San Fernando Valley, southbound on Lindley. Suspect just turned from Roscoe Boulevard, so we're heading southbound in the San Fernando Valley along Lindley. Now, the deal was this is an alleged robbery suspect. LAPD apparently was monitoring this person, and when the pursuit ensued, they were concerned because he is an alleged gang member, but as well, this suspect is possibly armed. We heard LAPD officers tell the units who were going to perform a pit maneuver, don't do a pit maneuver. We're concerned the suspect may be armed. So obviously a very dangerous pursuit with a suspect who might be armed. This is in the San Fernando Valley. You're looking at that white pickup truck. Here we go. Spike strip right there to your right side has been deployed. The vehicle appears to be stopping right now. Officers are out with a gun. He really has nowhere to go. And you can see that spike strip right now. He's trying to maneuver that truck and boom, just went right by it. So officers are now doing everything they can to safely bring this pursuit to an end.
Okay, so did he did go over that spike strip, or any of those tires flat, can you tell?
No, it appears he did not. Now, that officer that was on Lindley, I believe he just turned on Lindley. Apparently, that officer threw the spike strip out, but this guy was able to maneuver around it. So, if any good news again, the suspect is traveling very slow rate of speeds here in the San Fernando Valley. So that's an advantage for officers. Public safety, number one concern. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that the public is safe, but they also want to get this person off the road. Again, this is an alleged robbery suspect and a possible gang member, so officers are going to be very careful when it comes time to try to apprehend this individual.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now, can you tell us, Megan, has he been obeying, say, stop lights or stop signs, or has he just been blowing through them?
Well, fortunately, we haven't seen that as of yet. Now, he just made that right turn at we're northbound on Reseda Boulevard, and you can see he's just traveling really slow. He's just refusing to pull over and comply with the officer. So, again, right now, we haven't seen any erratic driving that would cause LAPD to actually pull back. And you can see right now there's a passenger there, so now we know there's more than one person in this vehicle. This is a white pickup truck northbound on Reseda. It's a slow speed pursuit in the San Fernando Valley. And again, if you're just tuning us here on KTLA, this is a pursuit here in the San Fernando Valley. It's been going on for about 20 minutes or so. This is an alleged robbery suspect who is also believed to be a gang member. So that is really going to be causing some concerns for LAPD. They do have unconfirmed reports he may be armed. So that really does not create the possibility to perform a pit maneuver. So they're going to try all other tactics to bring this pursuit to a safe end.
Sure, as we see, they try to use that spike strip. Well, we'll have to wait and see if they try that again. Megan, when we had the close-up shot on the passenger side, we could see there was a passenger in there. From my vantage point, it looked like a female. Is that, from your vantage point, is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, that is a female in the right side of the vehicle, and male, we understand it as a male driving. We heard it as a code 37, and sometimes that's put out. That is a stolen vehicle. So here we are coming to a stoplight here, and when it comes up to this, they're going to try to get around it. They're not going to stop and let officers apprehend them. Unfortunately, you see he's kind of pushing his way through. We saw a school bus right ahead of him, so we're going to keep an eye as we pull back. You can see that building's in the way, so just give it 1 second, and you'll see that vehicle come out here, and he is continuing northbound on Reseda.
So northbound on Reseda at this point, and as we've been mentioning that the West Valley Division of the LAPD, they've been monitoring this guy for quite some time for an old case, an armed robbery case. And this is when the pursuit began just before 3 o'clock in Winnetka. They've now been traveling around Reseda. And at this point, Megan, we don't know who that woman is. We know they're in a stolen vehicle. For all we know, he could have carjacked, this woman. We don't know at this point if she knows him or if he has basically kidnapped her.
Well, that's right, and that's the thing. You don't want to speculate, but again, officers don't know who that person is. All they know, there's two people in the car. This is an alleged gang member, and it is a robbery suspect. Who is that person on the right side? So they don't know. Could this be a carjacking? Officers are not sure. And when this comes to an end, they're going to apprehend both suspects until they can safely determine who that person is, the right seat passenger, that female. So here we go. We just passed. We're just coming up on Parthenia, and we're turning eastbound on Parthenia from Reseda. Vehicle's still going pretty slow. We haven't seen any erratic driving. In cases, sometimes when we see erratic driving, officers will go into what they call a tracking mode in hopes that the suspect will slow down. But that's not the case here right now. Suspect is pretty much obeying most of the laws, just not pulling over. But at least that's not causing any concern for public safety right now. Here we go. We're making a left turn on some small street off of Parthenia. And again, this person's just kind of moseying around, not pulling over, just kind of making officers work for this. But again, if any good news, we're not seeing that crazy erratic driving that we see in some of these pursuits.
Absolutely, really, weaving his way through Reseda there. Now, how many units are following him at this point?
Well, we're going to pull back, and you can see there's probably about 6 LAPD units immediately on them. Those are the black and whites who have the primary unit. There's your LAPD helicopter. So you've got units both up in the air as well as on the ground. Now we're making a left turn. You can kind of see that person there looking back. He actually looked out the window, and he was looking at those officers. And you can appear, it almost looks like he may be texting or doing something on the phone. There he is. Yep, he's talking on a telephone. A lot of times they call their friends. Hey, I'm in a pursuit. What's going on? So that's another reason why sometimes we don't want to give the tactical procedures. If we know LAPD is setting up a spike strip at a certain location, we want to be cautious on whether or not we say that on the air, because a lot of these times these guys are being rooted on by their friends, and they hear that and they're like, hey, they're going to set up a spike strip here, avoid that area. So we're going to be careful on what we say.
Absolutely. Friends or family may be watching this on television as we speak and talking with this suspect on the phone, who, again, is a possible gang member. The police are cautioning those who are in pursuit of him to be careful. Don't do a pit maneuver because he may be armed. They're telling us that they had been monitoring for quite some time that he is an armed robbery suspect. As we just mentioned, he is on the telephone. Not sure who he was speaking with.
Here we go. Officers are actually initiating a pit maneuver. Here we go. Despite all that, they attempted that pit maneuver, and it was not successful. In fact, that really surprised us because, again, we heard we heard LAPD indicate, be careful, don't do a pit maneuver. This person might be armed, but obviously officers felt it was safe enough. There's that black and white unit now coming up really fast. Now, again, if they perform a pit maneuver, the vehicle has to be traveling under 35 miles per hour. The primary time is when it's making a turn. So watch for this officer right now. We're coming up on Nordoff, and he's going to let that vehicle make that turn. But again, now officers are stepping up the game. They want this pursuit to come to an end as we pass the school bus here, so they're going to just let it pass that bus, continuing there, I believe. What's the street again? Nordoff Street. We're going southbound on Nordoff here. So again, officers stepping up the game. Here we go. Watch this. He's going to try to initiate that pit maneuver. He tried it again. Vehicle out of control. Up on the sidewalk. Here we go now. Now this is where it's dangerous. Officers are going to come up, surround the car. There's the female. She's running out. And there's the driver. So now the car is unattended. We've got two on foot. They're going to go after that suspect, the male. So let's see where officers are right now. Officers are coming up behind. There they are, foot pursuit. It looks like it's by a school right now, whatever that building is. There's LAPD right there. They're going to go after that suspect. We're going to stay with the driver. He's right there in that building. We're going to turn the helicopter around here so you can see it. There he is, still running.
Oh, he tried to run him over.
Between the parking lots. And again, officers
he ran it for his life.
this guy.
They
got him.
Wow, he was determined not to be caught. The way he kept running.
Yeah, and look at that. Officers. And look, he actually went into that car. You can see them. They're opening up that vehicle. They're trying to drag him out of the car. Apparently, he opened up the passenger door of that vehicle, possibly trying to see if he can use that vehicle to escape. Yeah, they got him, but he's not cooperating. It's taken a little bit to get this guy out right now.
And this school, it looks like it's pretty empty right now. It's about 20 after 3, so I'm imagining that school is out of session at this point.
Yeah, it's some kind of building. Again, I'm not sure if it's a school, but it looks like some type of building of that nature. But as we pull back in, we can also see officers are still trying to apprehend that suspect. I believe that is the suspect to the right of your screen there. You see that female officer and the male. In fact, you know what? That may be an innocent victim in that vehicle. So
Yeah,
the
he looks like
suspect
an
is
older
actually,
gentleman.
yeah, so that way they were actually pulling this guy out of the car. So this even creates more of a danger because it looks like that suspect may have tried to get into that vehicle and carjacked. So that poor person was stuck just sitting there in the middle, minding his own business, and a pursuit ends and some guy comes running in your car, possibly trying to carjack him. And there you go. There's your suspect. LAPD officers did a great job ending this pursuit, preventing any further. I mean, that guy probably, we can't speculate, but you're jumping in somebody else's car. They were concerned he was probably going to try to carjack this person here.
Yeah, that poor guy, he probably didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, you have someone trying to jump in your car, and all these police swarm around you. I'm sure that spooked him a bit. What is going on with the female that we saw running from the vehicle?
Earlier, we saw her running, and she was apprehended. We stayed with the driver. That was their main concern. That was the gang member, alleged gang member, who they've been tracking. They know this guy committed a robbery. They want to make sure that they're going to get him, and officers got their man. And LAPD did a great job. You saw how they initiated that pit maneuver. It was a little sketchy at first, but it was successful. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. There were no pedestrians on the sidewalk. Took down that tree, and both individuals in that white pickup truck went on a foot pursuit, but LAPD doing a great job, Air Division above, and as well as those officers on the ground. As you can see here with the video, they definitely did a great job getting their man. And there's the female suspect. You can also see she has been apprehended. So great job. Kudos to LAPD ending this, what could have been a very dangerous pursuit.
You're not kidding. Yes, very crowded at this time. A lot of people getting to work, a lot of kids getting out of school. Again, this is a pursuit. It came to a successful end. Great job by the LAPD. It began just before 3 o'clock in Winnetka, ending in Reseda. And there you see the suspect has now been apprehended in cuffs. Megan Reyes, we appreciate your coverage from Sky 5. And
anytime.
And that's going to do it for us here at KTLA 5 News. We'll be back here at 6 o'clock with all the latest.